There's a ladder here.
We ought to put it to good use.
This really is fine craftsmanship. It's possibly different as well.
That's it! I've had enough! Clear off! And don't come back till you're ready to do business properly!
But I've got the coin, I swear it. I simply just...
Where is it then, eh? Bring the coin, all of it, or I'll call the sentinels on you again. Are we clear?
Hmm? Oh, 'tis you. You're the good sir who aided me in Melve. Thank you again, sir. You don't know how grateful I am to you.
Well met, sir. Forgive my presumption, but were you the one who gave my granddaughter that medicine in Melve? I thought so. She's not stopped talking of her adventure since she arrived home. You have my sincerest thanks for aiding her. That girl's always running off on some fool's errand or other, for all my chiding. Once she gets an idea under her bonnet, there's simply no talking her out of it. Now listen, 'tisn't much, but I'd fain offer you a discount on my wares. Pray, make good use of it, won't you?
Oh, 'tis you. You're a welcome sight. Forgive my boldness, but I've a small favour to ask of you. Would you be willing to lend me some gold? I swear you'll be repaid in full. A trinket in yon shop caught my eye. A small, ornate box of exceptional craftsmanship. Alas, 'twould seem I do not have the coin on hand to purchase it. I can certainly procure the gold later, but by then, the box might be gone. If you'd be kind enough to lend me the amount I need, I would repay every last coin.
This is for you. What do you think?
Welcome and well met. Don't think I've forgotten your discount now. I'll knock a few gold pieces off aught you buy. So spend away, my good sir. Tis good to be busy. Work begets opportunity. Do come again.
Lots to do, and precious.
This really is fine craftsmanship. This part's a little different as well.
Lots to be taken care of.
Well met, son. How might I be of service? Much to
Would that I could spend all day here.
fancy a little while.
I've just recalled a little tidbit I heard from the locals.
Regarding the Vermundian military, yes?
Indeed. Tell is, there's been a shift in the chain of command.
Really now? I could use a bit of peace and quiet. I'll have
This
no
really
bed
is
if I
fine
let myself worry
craftsmanship.
much.
This part's
Oh, what does this say?
Let's have a look then.
might as well take a look while you're here, eh?
Off to market I go. Wish I could go on an adventure.
Well met, son.
Suppose I ought to check the wheels before we depart.
Townsfolk won't attend the stale performance.
Oi there, friend. Care to help a fellow out? All I ask is that you hear my request. What have you got to lose? My thanks, sir. As to the matter at hand, it concerns my ox cart business. I've been holding off service on account of all the monsters on the road, but now I feel prepared to start making trips to Melv again. Only trouble is, there are still monsters about, and I can't help but worry for the safety of the carts. That's where you come in. See, I've got a letter here from Lady Margit, the Watchhead's wife, to be delivered to one Sir Leonard in Melv. I'd like you to accompany the cart in my stead and see to it that the letter reaches its recipient. What say you, friend? Splendid! I knew I was right to put my faith in you. Now, the carts only depart at certain hours of the day, but I find that time flies when I take a seat at the station to wait. And mind you don't forget to pay your way before you board. That's standard practice, and I would advise against trying any funny business. Each cart travels with an escort of trained soldiers, see, in case it encounters any monsters out on the road. So anyone thinking of riding for free will have to take the issue up with them. But enough of my lecturing. Just make sure that letter gets to Sir Leonard, then come find me when the job's done. Oh, and I'll pay your fare this time, seeing as you're doing me a favour and all. Come find me when you've delivered that letter. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
We ought to see this to its destination.
Wonder how long this job's supposed to last.
Whatever am I to do?
I'm in no hurry to leave.
What the day holds.
Well met, son. How might I be of service?
Mayhap this ladder is here for a reason.
Ah, excellent find.
Whatever am I to do?
I don't tell half as many lies as my parents.
My bed calls and I shan't resist. All this waiting around puts me to sleep.
Might I interest you in my humble wares? Much obliged, sir.
I do so enjoy stocking up on supplies.
The longer the journey, the more supplies we'll require.
Right you are.
I'll take any chance not to think on my troubles.
Oh, would that could spend more days.
Always another errand to see to.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
Walking everywhere is certainly
Yes? Is there aught I can do for you? Or could it be that you've reconsidered my request? You bought it for me. Thank you. I'll treasure this. You're a kind soul. Pray, let me return the favor someday.
He seems a young man of decent character. I believe his promise to repay your kindness was a genuine one.
This ox cart's bound for Melv. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
If I sleep on my woes,
Lost track of time. This place is too comfortable.
barely lift their swords.
Now, where was I bound again?
If it were up to me, I'd never.
I see which way the wind's blowing.
Now, where was I bound again?
If you're in need of a...
My patience wears thin.
Let my magic grant you an elemental blow.
This one's ours, and make no mistake.
You are in need of healing. Allow me. Wait a moment. I've got to focus. Ah, here we are. The ox cart made it without too much trouble.
Mayhap we could employ a cart for our next journey.
I feel my age every time I raise. I fear I've naught useful to share.
Hail, if you've a moment to spare, I'd like a word. As you can see, we're rebuilding, a task that can always benefit from another pair of hands. What say you? Would you be willing to help? Excellent, you're a good sort. I'll not soon forget this. Here's what I need from you. A basque of saurians has made their nest outside the village. Though they're yet to cause any harm, their proximity makes the villagers uneasy. I'd like to enlist your aid in driving them away. I've prepared some explosive casks and left them by the village entrance. Use them to send the saurians scattering.
A saurian nest so near the village is worrying indeed.
Aye, what can I do for you? Ah, a letter from Lady Margaret, you say? 'Tis a fair way you've come, then. My thanks. She's a kindly sort, I must say. We met when I worked with her husband, Sir Gregor, on one occasion. Now she's taken to inquiring after my health at the turn of every season.
Shall we report our results?
It's this way.
Methinks I've earned rest.
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
No harm in picking a few. Master, my heart knows no greater peace than when I'm by your side.
That Lady Margaret's a kindly sort. We met when I worked with her husband, Sir Gregor, on one occasion. Now she's taken to inquiring after my health at the turn of every season. Well, that appears to have sent some of the beasts reeling, at least. To finish the job, I'd have you drop a jar of poison into their nest. With any luck, the Saurians will realize that they chose a perilous spot and steer clear of the village boundary in future. But pray, take care not to drop it in the river. The villagers use that water on a daily basis. You must make sure your aim is true. Are we clear? Good. You'll find the jars of poison just outside the village. Toss one into the Saurian's nest, and your task is done.
Now we are to throw a jar of poison. Be sure to handle it with care, Master. Well done, Master. Those Saurians shan't dare approach the village for some time, thanks to your efforts.
'Twas a pleasure to recount such good tidings.
There's ought to be said, peace and
Not much going on.
There's a ladder here.
We ought to put it to good use.
And I must say, you've a fine arm. I couldn't have done better myself. Watching you got me thinking. Mayhap you've the sense to inherit the skills I possess. Or perhaps 'tis a little early for such talk. In any event, thanks to the work you've done for us today, the rebuilding efforts ought to proceed apace. And for that, I'm grateful.
Our task is complete. A result to be proud of.
A laudable result. Just what I would expect of the Arisen.
'Tis vital that we rest and regain our strength before moving on.
We have found a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
We've got goblins!
We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness.
Let my madness do your weapon with the fury of the elements.
Can't That strategy never would have occurred to me.
Now that is a surprise.
An obstacle blocks our way. Perhaps we might remove it by force?
If a ranged attack is needed, you can count upon my aim. I would gladly be of aid, Earldom.
Is that a statue I espy over yonder?
We ought to take a closer look.
One can see far to the distance from here.
Twould be a good place to take stock of our surroundings.
You have my support.
Now, what might that be?
We ought to take a closer look.
That reminds me. Oft do we call on you to carry the burdens we cannot. I must thank you. Your toil keeps me light on my feet. Now here's a surprise.
A splendid discovery.
Interesting. I shall have to inform my own master of this.
You'll like to grow overburdened if you keep picking up every little trinket you find.
I've a knack for combining materials that I hope you'll find useful. I'll craft aught I can using what's in my pack.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
We're running low on everything, from provisions to crafting materials for weapons and armor. We've had a hard time procuring goods, what with all the monsters lurking on the roads of late. I sent Marcus to gather what we need, but I've just taken stock and I fear the list I gave him was incomplete. What say you? Could I trouble you to run an errand for me? You'd be paid, of course. Glad to hear it. Here, take this list of additional supplies to Marcus. He ought to be somewhere north of here. Hand him the note and he'll take care of the rest.
Like it or not, I must go where duty calls me.
Keep that shield up.
Yes, sir.
Want a blade in your ribs? Parry.
Aye, sir.
The best quality a soldier can have.
I suppose there can be no harm in bringing this along.
We can Saurian's master. Fire's fury charges to make this
I've got it pinned! We'll have a hard time spitting its felt fluid at us now!
I grant you fire's blade. Use it well. Well done. Pull back, and I will not use my magic. Wait. It is not an enemy to be taken lightly. We must strike boldly and with presence of mind. True enough. That was hard won.
What fails to destroy us only enhances our chances against future adversaries.
That's everything assembled. A job well done if I do say so myself. Oi! Did you need something? This is from Sir Geoffrey, is it? Let's have a look then. Fie. He wants these as well, does he? I thought I was finished. Why should I have to do all this on my own? I've got plenty to carry as tis. Say, your arms look free. You can handle that list in my stead. And make haste. I would depart for the encampment even a moment sooner. Well, go on. You know what to do.
We shall have to scour high and low.
How goes it? Have you gathered everything on the list yet? Brilliant! I knew I could count on you. Here, take this for your trouble. I'll be heading back to the encampment now. They'll be expecting me.
We'd best report back.
What about this place?
Oi, many thanks for passing on that list to Marcus for me. As I hear it, you even assisted him in gathering the supplies. I hope 'twasn't too much trouble. Anyway, you've been a great help. I hope I can count on your aid again should the need arise.
Our efforts have seen the encampment resupplied and Sir Geoffrey with one less care. A good deed all round.
Well said.
I've beds to spare if you're looking for lodgings, and if you'd like to change your vocation, come see. We must rest, though the sun is still up.
To this world I return, ready to put all I've learned to use.
Good morrow, everyone.
Come, we've much to be getting on with.
Feeling rested?